Hello everyone, welcome to the first Governance, Risk and Compliance Community tutorial for ServiceNow customers. In the next 20 minutes or so, we'll share with you a simple step-by-step guide to get started with your shiny new GRC suite. If you're a new or recent user of the GRC suite, this first tutorial and those that will follow are essential for your success. They will help you deploy faster and cheaper, accelerating your journey to safety. My name is Eric Ferron. I will be your host today for this tutorial and most likely for those that will follow. I joined the Security and Risk Business Unit of ServiceNow a few weeks ago. I am based in Santa Clara, California, and my goal is to grow a strong community of successful customers such as yourself. Any question or comment, please do reach out to me directly if you wish, either via email or on the community forum. Joining me today are two of ServiceNow's GRC specialists who work with our customers daily and whom you may have met in person, possibly at the Knowledge Conference last year or RSA a few weeks ago, or even during an on-site visit in your premises. Out of Texas, we have today Shawna Gillens, who is Security Senior Consultant. Hi, Shawna.
Hello. Hi, Eric. Hi, everyone.
Hello there. And we also have joining us remotely from sunny San Diego, Donna Johnson.
Hi, everyone.
Right. In lieu of introduction, I'm going to ask my guests to describe very shortly what their job entails and some interesting facts about their current security. Shawna, I'm going to turn to you first.
Thank you, Eric. Hi, everyone. As Eric mentioned, my name is Shawna Gillens. I am a senior consultant in ServiceNow Professional Services. I am based out of the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area, and I've worked exclusively in the GRC space for a number of years in professional services, working with customers just like yourselves towards implementing and deploying GRC products successfully. I am very proactive and believe in customer proactiveness about developing their business and looking towards engaging solutions that are going to help them achieve success and reaching their goals and outcomes.
Donna, what about you? Some insights in your career and some words of wisdom before we start?
Absolutely. Thanks, Eric. And I'm a GRC practitioner. I've been a consultant. I've joined ServiceNow back in December, and I'm really excited to be here. I will meet with customers who are considering adoption of a GRC solution and help, bring my expertise to the table and show them how they can get a lot of value out of the ServiceNow GRC platform.
Excellent. Right. Before we get started, a quick a few housekeeping announcements. First, you will see some links in this video. All links will be available in a clickable format in the description of the video and in the PDF version of the slides that you can download from the community forum. You will certainly have questions, follow-on questions, and we want to provide you with answers. Please post your questions in the Governance, Risk and Compliance Community Forum. And of course, we love your feedback. There's a short 3-minute survey at the end of this tutorial. Please give us your opinion on how we did and how we can make it better. In terms of today's scope, GRC being such a vast topic, we'll focus purely on policy and compliance and risk management, and also purely on the pre-implementation phase of this important journey.
What customers can expect to gain out of their investment and usage of the GRC suite as they move through these different stages of maturity. Many of you today are where we start at this bottom level in a manual process, utilizing spreadsheets and ever hopeful that things are going to work themselves out, using your legacy systems and operating on the crutches of email and spreadsheets is just not where we've seen success, right? So we understand that many of you may have these pain points. So today's focus will be elevating you into basic operations. And within basic operations, we're seeing a first level of benefits. We're coming out of reactive responses, and we're coming out of not having a real segregation of duties, but moving into a single system of record and effectively establishing a framework, seeing improved schedules of activity, right? We do have some additional levels, stages of maturity that we expect that our customers will be able to move into, understanding repeatable processes. So once we start to massage those basic operations and we start seeing some standardized processes, we're wanting to move into being repeatable and getting more managed, and ultimately moving into optimized operations where you're able to exercise ultimately elevating your efficiency and effectiveness with orchestrated monitoring and remediation. So some of the top business outcomes at the higher end of maturation is being able to understand and have your organization operating with responsibility and accountability being fully recognized across all layers of the organization. And today we're going to focus on 5 steps. And again, those 5 steps are centered around pre-implementation and what you're going to need to do to prepare for a successful deployment to get you into a basic operation stage. So we're looking at these 5 steps across 2 different phases. Again, pre-implementation phases. We are going to be building a business case in 3 steps, identifying key teams and their target business outcomes, identifying all use cases, processes, and workflows from all the business units within the organization that are relevant to these processes, documenting the current state, tools, and gaps, and then stage 2 of those 5 steps, so stage 2 of pre-implementation, we're looking at preparation in 2 steps. We're going to choose a deployment method by way of partner or engaging ServiceNow professional services, and then training the teams to be able to move forward and be successful.
All right. So, and I think, so this is those 5 steps. So let's look in more detail into each of those 5 steps. And I think, Donna, you're the right person to take us to step 1, right?
Sounds good. So when we get ready to go on to these steps, the first thing you're going to want to do is, good project management skills can lead to great outcomes. So think about who you want to appoint as a lead GRC program manager on your side. And then, if you bring in professional services, you'll have a coordinated approach here. And you're going to want to think about what are all our processes and changes and communication plans and deliverables, and what kind of phased approach do we want to take. And then, of course, you're going to involve your key stakeholders who have a vested interest in this. So, across your cross-functional teams, reach out to the business units who could be impacted by any new policies, identified risks and issues, and could be accountable for it. You're going to want to reach out to your risk and compliance teams because they're responsible for the content collection from all the teams. Internal audit, who's usually responsible up to senior leadership for assessing effectiveness internally. And of course, in this day and age, privacy and legal are very important with all the privacy concerns. And then moving on to step 2, that's when you've got an approach, you've got a program manager, you've communicated out to the business units, right? But then we're going to want to go a little deeper, get our use cases surfaced. What are our processes and workflows? So, discover what are the internal policies I want to bring into the solution. What are my external regulations that impact me that I must assess against the controls? And then any kind of exception or remediation management processes to handle that exceptions and actually getting our controls into compliance with remediation. And then any deviation processes from the BUs, make sure to loop them in and interview the executive sponsor at the C-level, your legal, privacy, risk, and product teams, and marketing for branding, because we can change the look and feel of ServiceNow so it aligns with your marketing look and feel. From a risk management perspective, you're going to want to look at your risk management program and all of your processes around that, inclusive of exception and remediation. And then I always recommend you think with your end in mind. You think with what are my dashboards and the reporting, so that I can be very transparent to leadership what our risk posture looks like. So think about your reporting and dashboard requirements. We can move on to step 3. And then, of course, we're going to document your current state, tools, and gaps. So, as a GRC practitioner and consultant in the past, I've gone in and just sat down and said, let's just put on a workflow, Visio, what is your as-is process, and draw it out. And that's always really great. It's like a lay of the land, a map, if you will, of your as-is state that helps you implement in the tool. What are your tools of choice? What are the locations of those policies and risk registers? Any kind of mitigation workflows you may be doing today, and then construct a gap analysis of what you do have processes for, what you don't. And then think about a phased approach, whether it's 3, 6, 9 months, so that you can hit your outcomes you communicated to leadership. Then on to number 4. So we find that the customers who get the greatest value out of ServiceNow, they usually have a partner or ServiceNow professional services. This helps you align getting your outcomes out of ServiceNow a little quicker. And they will know the best practices and how to navigate so that you are successful. And then work with your account executive or product line sales specialist to determine which path you're going to go down, whether it's ProServe or partner. And then finally, training. So for your subject matter experts in compliance, policy, and risk, we recommend ServiceNow fundamentals, so they have a basic understanding of the underlying platform. And you can pick one person on your team to do that. Maybe not every single compliance officer or policy manager needs to go. And then absolutely all of them should go through the GRC fundamentals. And then for anybody who's going to be helping you implement, maybe that's somebody in IT or the platform owner, and maybe a dedicated resource from your program in GRC, you can go through the risk and compliance implementation.
I think the big takeaway for me here to advise our audience is going to be around the fact that it pays to be proactive, and all of this upfront investment will pay off very quickly down the line in terms of faster implementation and speed towards results. Do not forget that if you've got questions, please post them in the GRC community forum, where the slides will be available. There will be a little feedback survey posted on the forum. Make sure you subscribe to the forum to get updates. And remember that we still talked only about pre-implementation. We have a tutorial coming about the implementation itself. Again, thank you so much to my guests today, Shona and Donna. We'll talk again very soon, I'm sure. Thank you.